How Bayern Munich destroyed Chelsea. Chelsea nil Bayern Munich 3, a tactical analysis. Before this video starts, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the third part of our 3-part series looking at 3 potential managerial replacements for Solskjaer at Manchester United, which should be released later this week. Also check out our 4-part series on Adama Traore, looking at his value in the modern game and a tactical analysis of his potential moves to some of the biggest clubs in Europe. Also, we have a tactical analysis of Atletico Madrid's 1-0 defeat of Liverpool last week, so check that one out as well after this video. All those videos will be linked in the description below and in the eye above. So going into the game, Lampard set up his side in a 5-2-3 shape with Willy Caballero in goal, a back three of Azpilicueta, Christensen and Rudiger, with Reece James at right back, Marcos Alonso at left wing back, Kovacic and Jorginho in the midfield double pivot with Mason Mount and Ross Barkley either side of Olivier Giroud. Flick used a 4-2-3-1 with Neuer in goal, Pavard and Alphonso Davies the fullbacks, Alaba and Boateng the centre-backs with a midfield double pivot of Thiago and Kimmich with Müller in the attacking midfield position, Gnabry on the left flank, Coman on the right and Lewandowski up front. So from the start of the game, Bayern used a 4-2-3-1 possession shape, with Lampard's side dropping into a 5-2-3 out of possession. Kimmich and Thiago played in the midfield double pivot and are the base for Bayern being able to progress the attack forward, with both players being excellent under pressure and having immense long passing and vision. In order to negate their influence, Lampard's front five, Giroud, the wide midfielders and the midfield double pivot, created a narrow pressing shape aimed at cutting off the passing lanes into the Bayern midfield. Jorginho would push up to either Kimmich or Thiago when they dropped deep. When the ball was shifted out to the right-sided centre-back Boateng, Barkley would push out to close down the space in front of him and stop Boateng being able to move out with the ball. Mount and Barkley, the two wide midfielders, had the task of cutting off passing lanes into the fullbacks, stopping Bayern advancing the play down the channels unless a long pass was played out to Alphonso Davies, switching the play. If the ball was played out wide to either of the Bayern fullbacks, the Chelsea wingbacks would push up the pitch to press them aggressively and stop their progression down the flanks. This did limit Bayern's ability to be able to progress the ball forward and left the responsibility solely up to Alaba to play forward passes into the final third, which in all fairness he was very good at. Whereas around the middle third, Chelsea used a zonal pressing system. When the ball was in Bayern's defensive third in the build-up phase, Chelsea would move to a man-to-man pressing shape. The two centre-backs split and Kimmich drops in between them, which is a standard build-up shape. Chelsea would push a man forward onto Kimmich, whilst Jorginho would track Thiago tightly, following him into deep areas. This did on a number of occasions force Bayern to play riskier balls out from their defensive third, with every short option being marked out of the game, and this did allow Chelsea to win the ball high up the pitch in the Bayern defensive third. They did create a few chances from these situations, such as Mason Mount's shot, which he pulled wide, but nothing as good as the chances Bayern were able to create. Thomas Müller was a standout player in the first half, with his movement being top draw. He would sit high alongside Lewandowski and then look to make a movement deep into the space, in behind the Chelsea midfield. Both he and Gnabry were looking to get into this space, with the overlapping Alphonso Davies allowing Gnabry to move inside. This is where Chelsea's centre-backs were very important, with Chelsea playing a central midfield too, pushing high up to squeeze the play. There was always going to be periods of the game where Müller and Gnabry were able to find space in these areas. When the ball was threaded into either of these two, Rudiger, Azpilicueta and Christensen were very good at front foot defending, moving out of the back line to win the ball back. Müller's movement did cause Chelsea some major problems. He was able to receive the ball in these areas on occasion, and rather than trying to take a touch and turn, he recognised that the Chelsea centre-backs would be moving on to him immediately, so he would look to play quick passes around the corner, which led to Coman's chance earlier on, and was also pivotal to the build-up for his headed chance, where he played a quick ball first to Gnabry and then had the awareness to make a run off the blind side of Rudiger into a goal-scoring position. In possession, Chelsea's shape resembled a 3-4-3 with Mount and Barkley playing as inside forwards. Mount positioned himself a little higher up the pitch on the right side and looked to make runs in behind Davies, where he did have some success, with Chelsea looking to play direct passes over the top of the Bayern back line. Bayern pressed Chelsea high in a man-to-man pressing system from their build-up, which led to Chelsea going more direct to avoid losing the ball in the final third, playing long balls up to Giroud. This was unsuccessful, and Bayern's well-drilled pressing 4-4-2 shape was able to stop Chelsea progressing the ball through the centre of the pitch and made it hard for them to work the ball into the front three. Going into the second half, Chelsea was still struggling to move the ball into the final third. They continued to look for direct balls into Giroud, but he was particularly poor throughout the 60 minutes he was on the field at being able to control the ball and bring the midfield into play. It looked like Chelsea were specifically looking to exploit Bayern's high defensive line, as seen when Jorginho played a long pass down the right-sided channel for Mason Mount's run, which led to Chelsea's best move of the game. However, within the first 10 minutes of the second half, Bayern had completely opened up Chelsea. Gnabry and Lewandowski's weight of pass and movement was world class, as their interplay opened up Chelsea's back line, allowing Gnabry to score 2 before the 60-minute mark. For the first and second Bayern goal, Rudiger did not have the positional awareness to track Lewandowski's run, allowing the Polish striker to then pull the ball back for Gnabry to slot home the first, and then did not come across to close down the space between him and Christensen, allowing Gnabry to make a direct run into it for the second. For Bayern's third goal, Coutinho was playing as a wide playmaker, moving into deep positions, and this pulled Chelsea's back line high up the pitch. This allowed Alphonso Davies to play a quick 1-2 and then burst into the space down Chelsea's right-sided channel before picking out Lewandowski with a low cross to make it 3-0. Lampard did make tactical changes around the 70th minute mark by bringing on Pedro for Azpilicueta, but by then it was too late. Willian on the right side was forced into a wider and deeper position than Mount in the first half because of Alphonso Davies' threat down the left side. This stretched Chelsea's front five pressing shape and allowed Bayern to play through the centre of the pitch, with Thiago and Kimmich controlling the game as they had less pressure on them, with Chelsea's midfield unit further apart. Alphonso Davies was excellent throughout the game, but in particular in the second half. His dribbling and pace down the left flank was a lethal weapon for Bayern, as it allowed them to progress the attack from the middle third to the attacking third at the blink of an eye. This is a world-class skill set for a fullback to possess, and is similar to the threat that Adama Traore offers for Wolves in wide areas. You can check out our 4-part series looking at Adama Traore's use of this skill in particular after this video finishes. Davies' defensive positioning is still a little lax, particularly when playing on a high line, which was seen as he allowed Mount to run off him a couple of times, but his pace enabled him to recover impressively, and this is something he can develop further, which will be a part of his game that will inevitably improve. His relationship with Gnabry down Bayern's left side is going to be something fascinating to watch. Gnabry is beginning to develop into a world-class player, with not just the dribbling ability and off-the-ball movement of a winger, but also with the clinical finishing of a forward already in his game, as he showed in this match. So overall, Lampard's out-of-possession tactics did work to an extent in the first half, but Chelsea weren't able to do enough in possession, with Bayern not allowing them to progress the ball through the centre of the midfield. Ultimately, it was Bayern's individual quality that made the difference, with Gnabry and Davies on the left, two Pacific players in this regard. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and more tactical analysis on the Champions League games coming up.